Welcome to Python 105. In this video, we will be looking at various exercises that covers Python 104 to 101, which in turns talks about variable declaration, data types, integer, float, string, Python operators, and also conditional statements. Let's look at the following examples. We'll be solving examples. I told you guys, promised you guys that we'll be doing a lot of examples, so this is the time for it. So let's say a Python program that takes in the following input, and we want to take in name as string, age as integer, and score as float. What's this program supposed to do? The program is supposed to determine the user's age, determine the user's age if he's greater than 18, or equal to 18. Allow the program to proceed forward to check if the score is greater than 50. If the score is greater than 50, tell the user that they pass, that's print pass. If it's less than 50, print fail. So also, if the user is less than 18 years old, print not possible as the final result. So those are like three kind of prints there. So I will let you guys think about it and try and solve it. So you can pause the video and try and provide solution to this. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the solution. So the first thing is to get the user's input. This is pretty straightforward, and this is by using the input keyword. So first of all, we get the name of the user, enter your name, followed by the age. We are capturing integer. So I cast it to integer and I do my input, enter your age. Finally, I capture the score as float, I cast it to float and I do input, enter score. Then this is where we are doing the checking. First thing we need to check is we check for the age. So I just comment do checking. So that's the first second condition there. The first thing here, determine the age of the person. So I do if my age is greater than or equal to 18, put my column to end my conditional statement. What should I do? That gives me the ability for me to go to the next condition, check if the score is greater than 50. So I do another conditional statement to check if my score is greater than 50. And if it is, I print pass. What if it is not? I print fail. Then finally, the program itself, what if the person is less than 18 years old? So what should I do? I need to put not possible. That's the number 4. So I need to go to line 33, go to where I will just put not possible. So there you go, that's your program. So let's give it a try and see if everything works well. So first of all, let's put the person's name. The program is running. We'll put James. Age, let's put 20, and score we can put 49.9. And let's see, oh, this person failed because that's what we wrote in the program. So this one is working well. The first scenario played out well. Let's try the second scenario where the name is Michael and the age is 22 and the score is 69, pass mark. So this one is also working well. So finally, let's put someone that is an underage. Let's try Sam. And then age, let's do 17, and let's see, score can be anything, 45, and you can see it says not possible. So we were able to do this one. Okay, so if you get something like this, it means you're moving on to the right path. So let's try another example, guys. So create a Python program that simulates a simple grading system. So this is just like in school system. And so how does it work? First requirement is we need to prompt the user to impute the score, right? The score will be within 1 to 100. So based on what the user enter, you will need to determine the person's grade. So we need to assign a letter to the person. So the letter A to F is what we're going to be using, A, B, C, D, E, F, where A denotes 90 to 100, 80 denotes, or rather B denotes 80 to 89, C 70 to 79, then D 60 to 69. Finally, F is everything that is below 59 is an F. Finally, we should be able to print out the user score and also print out the grade. Like this score is this grade, something like that. So I'm also going to pause this. You can pause the video right now and take a shot at this. This practice is very important to test out what it is you've learned. So at least you've seen the first example, so you should be able to try this out. Pause the video and give it a try. Okay, so let me go ahead and solve it. So I assume you must have solved this. So the first thing I need to do is to capture the score, which is casting into integer. I'll say enter score. So this score is, I will need to check the score obviously to check if it falls within those bands. I have 5 bands there, A, B, C, and D. So I'm starting from the top. So if the score is greater than or equal to 90, what should happen? I'm creating a new variable now. I'm creating the grade is equal to A. That's based on the condition we have there, the banding system. So the next thing is I'm using elif now because I want to have so many conditions, so many check. So elif score is greater than or equal to 80, the grade should be B. Then I'm going to repeat that continuously until I finish because that sets the band. Remember how elif works. Once it finds anyone that works in between them, it picks that one and terminates the if condition. So it won't check the rest again. Once it sees one that falls in between what it's looking for, the conditional statement ends. So if it doesn't see anything, you can see it just goes to else and print elf. I don't need to check for 59. Then finally, I can then print out my result. I have the score in a variable called score, and my grade is also in a grade variable. So that is our program, and it should run well. So let's try it. So say enter score, we enter 77, and you can see it's a C based on what we have there. And if you go and see the grading system, it should be C also in the grading system. So let's try something else. Let's try 99. 99 is an A. So the system is pretty working well. So if you did this by yourself, well done. Moving on to the next example we have is write a Python program to convert temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Science students go sabi this one well. Celsius to Fahrenheit, and also from Fahrenheit to Celsius. So you should be able to do dual conversion. So how do this go? How do you go with this? First thing, you need to ask the user to choose the direction of the conversion. So ask the user if they want to convert from Celsius to Fahrenheit or from Fahrenheit to Celsius. So once you've asked the user, then you need to, based on the user's choice, what they've decided, you then do the calculation. So you can say if the user choose Celsius to Fahrenheit, prompt the user to enter the Celsius as float. So if the user chooses Fahrenheit to Celsius, that's the alternative, prompt the user to impute Fahrenheit as also float. So the next thing is to perform the conversion. So let me give you the formula for the conversion for the appropriate whatever the user is deciding to pick first. So for example, to calculate Celsius to Fahrenheit, the formula is Fahrenheit is equal to Celsius multiplied by 9 divided by 5 plus 32. Converting Fahrenheit to Celsius, the formula is F minus 32 multiplied by 5 over 9. So you can give this a try, and let's see what you get at the end. Okay, now that we're here, it means either you want to see the solution or you solve it and then you're happy. Let's move on to the next solution to this. So the solution to this is first of all, we want to prompt the user to make a choice based on what they want to pick first. Is it Celsius to Fahrenheit or Fahrenheit to Celsius that they want to choose? So I will now say I'm capturing the input. I don't want to write too much story. I just say C to F or F to C. So you choose. This will come in as a option to the user. So whatever the user type is what I'm going to use to decide. So the user has to type specific character, like specific text. So if they type anything away from that text, it will not work. So you just see the code that follows, by. So I need to convert everything to uppercase so that in case if the user, type in some funny case, it will all be converted to uppercase and then we'll be good. So once I check and then it's equal to, I'm starting with Celsius to Fahrenheit. If it converts that to, if it's Celsius to Fahrenheit, the next thing I need to do is I need to capture the Celsius value from the user input. That's why I say enter temperature in Celsius. Once I've gotten the Celsius value, I then need to apply the formula to get the Fahrenheit value. And that's what the formula says. So that's it, that ends Celsius to Fahrenheit. The next thing I need to check is, what if the user enter Fahrenheit to Celsius? So I then repeat exactly what I did, but this time around I'm capturing the Fahrenheit, from the console. And finally, I'm then calculating the Celsius. So the Celsius is equal to F minus 32 multiplied by 5/9. So, but we're missing something here. We need to print out our results, guys. We need to print out our results. So at the point where we do the calculation, we need to print out our results. Temperature in Fahrenheit is now equal to F. And let's do the same thing for Celsius. Temperature in Celsius, is equal to C. Finally, if the user enters something that is not, applicable, if they miss their input, it should just say invalid input. So I think this should run. So let's give it a try, guys. Let's try this and see if this works. So it's asking to put C to F or F to C. So if you just put anything there, you can see that it just gives you invalid input. So let's try a proper stuff. So let's put C to F. Okay, so it says enter temperature in Celsius. We'll put 67.3. It says temperature in Fahrenheit is this. So it has given us our value. So let's do the alternative, Fahrenheit to Celsius. If we put 100 Fahrenheit, it gives us 337.7 as our Celsius value. So let's try known value. Let's try 100 Celsius. So that gives us 212 Fahrenheit. So I've practically solved like 3 examples, I guess. This one, I'm not doing this one for you guys. So for people that have not been following or that have not been doing the work, this is for you. So go and do this one. This is an assignment, real assignment, guys. There's no solution at the end of this video. So you're supposed to drop your assignment, your solution to me in our group, in the WhatsApp group. So here I say write a Python program to calculate the total cost of a meal, including tax and tips. So this is like maybe you went to eat in a restaurant and then there's a tax on it, and also there's a tip you give to the person that served you. So the first thing says prompt the user for meal cost. So if the total meal cost is maybe 2,000 naira, then the next thing is prompt the user for sales tax. So if the tax is 10% or 7.5%, just put 7 or 10. So collect the input as a float. So we've captured 2 things now. We've captured sales tax, that's like tax rate. The last thing is prompt the user for tip. The tip that you gave the salesperson that sold the item to you. So you can just put a fixed value, maybe 100 naira or 200 naira or $200. That's what you gave the person as a tip. So now we have 3 variables, guys. Then finally, calculate the total cost of the meal. So these are the things you need to put in perspective. You need to first know the tax amount. The tax amount, it has a formula, which is the meal cost multiplied by the tax rate over 100. That is the tax rate for that meal. Then the next thing you also need to put in consideration is the total cost now. The total cost is now the meal cost plus the tax amount plus the tip. That gives you total cost. So I need you guys to go and work on this. This is very easy. For all the examples I've given you, should give you a prompter. You should be able to handle this based on the level that you are now. I will see you in the next one. Make sure you subscribe if you are not subscribed yet.